Hey everybody, it's Knightcast. We are back after a very fun Tuesday night with Spawn. I am back with Joker, my co-host. They got them also co-hosts for the watch parties as well. We are back with news and everything all in the world, trying to shed a cohe a coherent light on the world of bullshit and everything. But now we don't know what we're gonna be going in. We don't know what world we're gonna be going in until we get there. With with the I there actually I did hear a rumor, Joker. I did hear a rumor.
Ooh, 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 ooh. What's this rumor? It's either
Apparently,
going to be good or
I
bad.
don't know if this is true or not, but one of my coworkers let it slip earlier. Um, According to him, AMC and a few other theaters are thinking about pulling Minecraft early out of rotation.
Well, that's a little. Well, again, let's go with the rumors. Why possibly could they be pulling Minecraft out of rotation early? Now, some people might say, but isn't that movie doing some great numbers right now? Yes, they are at least getting people into the theaters, younger audience like the your parents, families, and some teenagers who have grew up with Minecraft at a young age are now teens now, or like adults who grew up playing Minecraft as kids who are now adults. I remember that game being out when I was still in school and going like, oh yeah, that's the Minecraft game. Some people are talking about it. Like that people are playing or like they got a big huge interest back in 2009. I know 2009. I'm old. I am old as hell. But why are some people might say that? Oh, it's gonna pull early. The I think the first reason I'm gonna say is possibly the most likely. Either the probably the production company that they're seeing the money, and it's like we are already gonna make back all our money back regardless. So we can just pull early and put it on digital and make more money. Why should we give theaters the benefit of the doubt of trying to make a little extra for themselves? It's a smash hit, and it's been the trend as of lately. There's no longer these 3 to 4, 5, 6 weeks in theaters. They just might start pulling. Get the new rotation going. If people are have done seeing it, might as well pull it. That is one logical reason. Reason number two, which they should have been doing already, or at least putting warning signs earlier, is the stupid chicken jockeys. So if theaters are probably tired of this, even though I do think the trend has died down a lot now, and people are getting fed up to having Jack Black of all people being the freaking hero of the day, going, please have respect for yourself and do not throw anything when during the scene. Thank you, Jack. At least that's some things I can respect and agree with you on for these employees. So maybe that's why. Or third, it just could be that, well, it ran its course. Hardly anybody showing up now. So might as well start
Hey, Kelly.
reducing the amount of showtime you can have it. Like, I know, like, you have your gig, and I still remember seeing, at least on my website for my theater, that Sonic definitely did have a lot more showing than Mufasa, but then Disney got that push in because they want just to give us a little more extra time than Sonic than Mufasa, so that can happen, but it rarely does happen. So, but I don't see any other competitions trying to get in here and be like, we
So,
want the spotlight now. The one thing I do remember from back in the day, back in 2015, yeah, when The Hateful Eight was out, and then you had The Force Awakens. Disney had an agreement with Quentin Tarantino. It's like, all right, you could have The Hateful Eight in this theater. It was the biggest one that had. Remember, he wanted 70 millimeter film. Remember, The Hateful Eight was filmed on actual 70 millimeter film due to the lenses and everything. So it's like, oh, okay. So he had an agreement with Disney. You get 2 weeks, we get 2 weeks. But then suddenly, on the Howard Stern show, that guy. But at the time when Quentin Tarantino was talking to him, he's like, I had this deal with Disney. They get 2 weeks, I get 2 weeks. Now suddenly it's like, we want the full 4 weeks in the theater. And it's like, well, it's the house. Well, it's the House of Mouse. And we're Disney.
It's about what the House of Mouse.
It's about money. I want money. Star Wars is the biggest film out there. Not you. Not the Hateful Eight. But Quentin Tarantino, again, love or hate the guy, I love him. He understands cinema. It's like, how many theaters still out there can do the 70 millimeter projection screen? Sure, you'll see 65 millimeter, but it's, in short, how many theaters can still support it along with those who aren't supporting it. So good luck trying to find theaters that can do it. And that's the big thing that Quentin Tarantino was saying, you have Star Wars. You're going to make the most money out of all of us. Why can't I have my 2 weeks for this one theater that you did not need full 4 weeks, that everybody was going to be there within the first 2 weeks? So who knows, really? Who knows? But that's one story I know. But who knows with Minecraft? It's not unheard of it being pulled for weeks. Now I'm going to bring back one that you're going to be like, oh, you're right. Remember this little bad film called Gem and the Holograms?
Ugh.
When that film didn't
Ugh.
even last 2 full weeks, that film was immediately pulled after the second week. Not
Given
3
how
weeks,
bad
not
it
4 weeks.
was.
It was 2 weeks, 2 weeks only. Then it was pulled. I remember working my gig back at the rental store back in the day, and when people were talking about Gem, like we were like, "Did you know this movie got pulled from 2 weeks?" They're like, "What? Yeah." I'm like, "This has never been heard of before, or at least around that time frame." So that's one I know about. But this Minecraft rumor, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows why? It's not unheard of, but it is interesting to know that it possibly could be pulled. Possibly.
Mm-hmm. But then again, it's rumor and everything. It might they might change their mind. Who knows? It's movie theaters and the drama between the studios and everything.
In the
So,
theaters. So, I mean, in fact, if you
but
should
but
look
this
in,
isn't out of the realm of possibility. Though. We have had
not
this
out of the
happen
room.
before. Speaking of
Like what was another one? I think I know there was another one. Well, I don't know. I can't remember the other one, but I do remember seeing a couple movies in theaters that at my local theater, everybody knows me, everybody loves me down there. I'm like one of the favorite customers that what I was able to at least keep D&D in theaters a bit longer because they're like, "Thank you for seeing D&D. Thank you so much." I'm like, "Hey," because I
that
showed up
was
a few
that
times.
movie
They were
was
very happy.
surprisingly decent.
I'm not
I
the
was
biggest D&D fan out there. I only play like Neverwinter. Only got to about maybe level 20. But the fact that even I and my friends enjoyed it was a really good thing. Even the time that when I got scammed, I had some money left in my wallet. I'm like, I just want to see a movie now. I was going to take a friend to this movie. I just need to calm down, get out. Let me just relax. Let mom and dad handle my situation that both me and my father, we screwed up big time, big time.
e-
So it's like, so they can take care of it. So that was my way to relax. And taking my other friend to it who didn't quite see it yet, I still had a great time with it. And we were laughing at all the jokes they had. I'm like, this feels like a proper D&D experience, even if it's like, yeah, but it's like, but hey, it feels like a solid B adventure story that I would be watching back in the day. I'm like, yeah, this was like a solid B story. It's has everything I want and more. And maybe we'll see stuff in the future or not, but who knows? Who knows?
Speaking of total annihilation and embarrassment, Joker. Let's get this out of the way. Disney's Snow White with Rachel Zelger drops out of top 5. Minecraft builds box office success. And it's not even been a month. It's not even a month.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
I just want to be Chris Tucker, right? Wait, do you have the Friday clip of Chris Tucker going, "You got knocked the fuck out"?
I don't, but that's probably the next clip I'm gonna add to the whole thing. So
You got knocked
it's
the
gonna be there. It's gonna
damn.
be.
You got knocked the. In the words of Chris Tucker from Friday, damn, you got knocked the fuck out. Now, why is that, ladies and gentlemen? It should be the obvious things. Obvious number one, Zelgar in all of her interviews, even before the launch of this movie, she went on a tyrant rampage of disowning the original animation film, saying that it's not going to be like the
Hey, McTow.
original. We're going to
Vanessa Gay.
properly update it for a modern audience. It's weird she gets stalked by the prince. Weird, weird. And I'm pretty sure Uncle Walt Disney is in his grave now going, no, let me out, let me out. So there's her disowning the film completely. And it's like, why? This is what Disney's foundation was built off. Why are we changing so much? To literally every behind the. I'm going to say this: who's ever taken these photos of the first looks, air quotes, first look of Zelgar in the Snow White outfit? I remember this. Yeah, she's in the outfit, but it looks like she's just going to makeup and hairstyling. Like this is a dress rehearsal. Obviously, it's not finished yet because she has, was it UGG boots on, and she got some pins in her hair still. So I'm like, this isn't a proper first look. You're giving the film a bad reputation before anything else. Had she been on set, had she been with another co-star, I would have been like, okay, this has potential. This could be good, but no, it's Snow White. Why are we doing Snow White? I've heard stuff that during production of the film that a set burned down, so that's costing them a lot of money. You have the third obvious thing. Peter Dinklage is out his interview about hiring small actors and all that stuff. It's like Dinklage. I respect you as an actor, a very good actor, but wow, coming out the wrong time to say this stuff. And all the dwarves actors get fired, them firing back at Peter Dinklage. They were able to hire at least one of them for the CGI dwarves. Awful. But everything about this just led to the third thing. This film was doomed to fail from the start. It was dead on arrival. People are tired of these live action remakes. When you look at the stuff that they did previously with Mulan and Aladdin and what else God was there? Oh God, what was the last one? Wasn't the last one before this? It was
Mermaid.
yeah, the Little Mermaid that did not do very well, even though people say the best thing about the Little Mermaid is Halle Berry's singing and acting, so that's a good thing about it, even though they're very hypocritical when you see some of the international posters about that. So I'm like, Disney wants to respect you. They will only respect you when it's them making some money, but when they start losing money, it's like, we can't be losing money over there. So, and you know what? I do seen clips from The Color Purple of the remake version with Halle Berry in it, and I'm like, you know what? Damn. So she can act. She can sing and act. I'm like, wow, this is much better than what I saw in The Little Mermaid. I'm like, wow. I was like, wow. I was like, oh my God, wow, she can do it. So at this point, you get the point. It was doomed to fail. And also, when all the trailers of Snow White that came out, they weren't that great in first impressions. Like, they changed the story again. It's completely different. And like how we show beforehand, of Gal Gadot, the evil queen, transforming into the hag. It's a night and day different. Animation, there was passion, there was creativity, and it
And
made us go, wow,
storytelling.
it was amazing. Live action remake. Let's make this the boring transformation impossible. And I was like, you had one job to do. Nail this sequence. It's simple to do. Nope, you can't even do that. And honestly, I do feel bad for Mark Webb. I'm sure he's a nice director. I'm sure he's a great guy to be around with. He does have excellent, good videography in his music videos directed, and he's done some good direction in television and film. But wow, I feel bad for him. I just feel bad for this guy. And with Minecraft coming out, it took all the spotlight away because people want to see a proper movie. Sure, these are two different films for two different genres for two different people, audience to see it, but Minecraft looks better, unfortunately. Even that film took over a decade in development hell, it still came out and it was a wild success. It's a big brand that everybody knows. It got a lot of people in theaters because of the chicken jockey meme, but who cares? It made money compared to Snow White. It's what we call spend smarter or not harder. Sure, Minecraft still cost them a whopping 150 million to make, but compared to
Actually,
260 million to make or 270 million to make, Snow White is going to lose a lot of money.
yeah, and get this, the
More
sharp
because the
decline.
reshoots, if not more. I've
Yeah,
been told they have to do some reshoots, which reshoots are expensive, folks. So it's going to cost them a lot of money to make.
and the sad reality is, it became very clear after the film lost a staggering 1,210 theaters last Friday, following an earlier reduction of 450 the weekend prior. Snow White is now projected to earn only 2.8 million from the 2,540 theaters over its fourth weekend, landing it at number 8 on the domestic chart. The fall follows a brutal 66% drop during its second weekend, where the film managed just 14.2 million. And of course, it's sitting at a 143.1 million and potentially costing Disney around 115 million in losses. The numbers don't lie, people. When you see numbers that badly, forget the panic button, forget the golden parachute, forget everything. It baffles me because it's like how and also this at my gig, Joker, we only have one showing of Snow White. It's at the 9 o'clock time slot.
That's
I'm like, who would go see Snow White at 9 o'clock at night?
well, if you guys do want to see a movie that's R-rated, it's better. Go see Warfare. I highly recommend seeing Warfare. Have
Oh,
you
I
seen
a
Warfare
lot.
yet?
I seen a few scenes. I was really impressed.
I seen that movie. It's 95 minutes long, so I'll go on my little. If you want to see a better movie, see Warfare. What is Warfare about? It's a based on true event story back in the Middle East back in 2006. It's not the heroic heroism of we get in, we get out, we save people. This is about a mission gone wrong. That it should have been simple, effective, but it's still a mission that our brave men and soldiers do over there. But something goes wrong, and it's now we have to escape. So it's a little bit like Dunkirk. If you like Dunkirk, you like this. But this also gets you a great sense of what's truly happening to our soldiers at that time period. like the psychological trauma or the physical trauma that goes along with just waiting to get out of this hostile area that you're slowly being cornered in. And the way this film looks, the way this film sounds, it's both beautiful and breathtaking, but it's also very tense. Like you're just waiting for these moments to happen. You're like, okay, where are they going? Where are they coming from? Where are they going? And when it happens, it's in your face. It's loud. It's brutal. It's tense. There's a point in the scene where I took my friend to this movie, and we're both looking at it. We're like, oh, what? Like just the prosthetics alone, the makeup design is brilliant on these actors who are portraying injured soldiers, but it's really brutal. There's a point where he's like, okay, that's too much. I gotta look away. But I'm just looking. I'm like, wow. Like just imagine being over there for our men and women. Just imagine that was your job over there. Again, I have the utmost respect for our military. And the big thing about warfare is this: it's actually based upon the memories of these soldiers. Think about that. On the memories, the soldiers that are still alive and with us. One of them directed this film with Alexander Gard, the director of Annihilation, Men, Civil War, the first director to direct 28 Days Later. So it's like Ex Machina. So it's like, wow, that guy directed this too? He was a co-director, and the guy who directed this was the military supervisor for Civil War. And to think that this was his experience that he went through with his brothers in arms is like, wow.
Yeah.
Like it's like, and it does happen in real time. At the end of that film, me and my friend were discussing a little bit like, do you think how long that took in the actual film? Like, I'm like, I don't know. I want to talk to the director and know about a few things too. But it's like, wow, this film is brutal, very tense, and that's why I said use the word dreadful, because it is dread. Like you are waiting for things to happen, but before you get to those moments, there are times where you're allowed to relax a bit, have a little fun. So it contrasts the opening of the film where it's like, am I really going to be watching a film like this? And then it just goes these beautiful night shots, alleys. I'm like, all right, I'm already tense. I know something's going to happen. I say this film is up there with, I'm going to say it, American Sniper, Lone Survivor, Saving Private Ryan. You're going, ooh, all those, like, if not more. This is one of the best military films out there. Like, almost like the anti Black Hawk Down. It's
Mm-hmm.
very, very good. And I still say this: I respect to our men
And
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 women.
I and I think it would probably be up there with 1917 as well.
1917. I think it's even better than 1917. I love 1917. Like it's really good. So if you guys want a military film, you guys want experience, go for Warfare. Go for Warfare this week. If it's still in your theaters, go support it,
Mhm.
see it. I thought it was great. And one of my friends said that he wants the director to meet Steven Spielberg. I'm like, I'm sure Spielberg is gonna watch this film, and I want Spielberg to watch it. I mean, I hope he watches it. So it's got to
Oh,
be my favorite film of the year so far, beating Mickey 17. Yeah, and I love Mickey 17, so it just got beat by Warfare.
hmm uh, speaking of which, shifting gears a moment, but we're still going to be on a fresh topic.
Yeah.
Joker, we have more Thunderbolt news.
Oh god.
So,
What did they spoil now? Okay. This is projection.
yep, Thunderbolts now on track to perform worse than Captain America: Brave New World and latest box office projection. So, what's going on now? This is what is this? I mean, Thunderbolts has the worst luck I have ever seen with a Marvel movie. It got it had its ending spoiled twice in two different articles a couple weeks back, we covered this.
A few weeks back to the Avengers Doomsday cast accidentally revealing who's going to be in it. Okay. And those who aren't in it. So it's like, I don't see somebody's name on here. And it's been not a very good year for Marvel. Everyone says, but it's never been. I think when you look at a long time right now, Marvel is in this dry spell. Phase 5, I barely remember Phase 5. I'm sorry. Like, I barely remember Phase 4. And that's only because No Way Home was in there. I'm like, okay, one good film out of a bunch I don't care about. The last films and projects I don't care about. Like, Doctor Strange, I'm willing to accept more now of Multiverse into Madness because I'm like, hey, you know what? He was more confident than the rest. Eternals,
Hey, Big
no one
Angry
cares
Bill.
about them. And the funny thing is about Eternals, here's the big kicker. They're not doing any more Eternal films. And I don't blame them.
I
They
don't
took a
blame him
gamble on
either.
characters that no one knew about unless you read the comics. That the only reason why my theater was even packed, you probably would agree with this too with your gig. People stay for the end credit sequence just to see that actor in it. You know the actor I'm talking about. It was
Yep,
Harry. That's the only reason why they stayed. And
and
I'm like, I
that
wanted
does
to leave.
happen.
I'm like, I guess there's something's here for us.
Because
And I'm
remember,
like,
I did that with Sonic 3, so I can attest to this. I did it with Sonic 3. That ending cutscene. Oh my lord, help me. The post credit scene, help me. Uh,
it's funny because our mutual friend Bubba, my friend Bubba, has always said this. Endgame should have been the end. You wait 5 to 6 years for this stuff. You plan things out in advance while still making sure, do you want to connect stuff or do you want to go back to solo films while leading into something big? That's what they should have done. Instead, no, we need the next big dick energy bad guy. Who is it going to be? It's going to be this guy, Kang the Conqueror. And look what happened to Jonathan Major Thomas, who now has his life back, thankfully.
yes.
Thankfully, he's got his life back. I always believe in innocent until proven guilty, and he was found innocent, so good. And Michael B. Jordan saying that he is doing a whole lot better, so that's good. That's good.
Yay.
That's
Good
good. He
news
still has
all
contact
around.
with Jordan. But that was really them panicking, going, okay, we need to cancel Kane the Conqueror. We need to find somebody else. Who do we choose? Doctor Doom. And it's really just been backfiring on them. I mean, like, I don't care about the Marvels. I never cared about Kamala Khan or Rambo or Ms. Marvel, but I don't care about Secret Invasion because if you're gonna do Secret Invasion, adapt it properly, not this $200 million season that was crap. I
Engaged.
appreciate Moon Knight got in, but it's like, okay, what is this leading to? At least Loki was good in season 2. What else was there? WandaVision. It was fine, I guess. It was nice to see the costume for once, right?
Yeah.
You'll admit this. It was nice to see the proper Scarlet Witch costume. Even was for a Halloween episode. It's like this was nice to finally see.
And finally get right. But now this begs the question though. With this being on track to perform badly because in the
I mean,
box
it can't
office,
be bad than Thor: Thunder and Love, can it? Can it?
and apparently it's tracking for a domestic opening weekend between 63 million and 85 million, with the target around 70 million.
And I think the reason why is this because there's just been a lot of bad luck from Marvel. You look at everything that's came out that I mentioned, it's been mixed reception. Very much mixed reception. And if your big two blockbuster movies from the past couple years aren't doing the numbers as you're thinking, maybe people are tired. I'm going to hear it. No, they are not sick of the superhero fatigue. It is fatigue. we're getting tired of the same stories repeated constantly. We're getting tired of seeing some of the old cast. I appreciate us getting some new blood, but some of the new blood aren't just going out there. But we have a successful game called Marvel Rivals. Yes,
But in
but
game only.
in game only, sadly. That's a good thing to have. You're still at least getting people to recognize the old cast and the new cast. I mean, I still
I
forget
was
Magic
playing
is in there from time to time, but I'm like, oh yeah,
I was
she was an
playing I was
X-Men.
playing Spawn I was playing Spawn Armageddon last night, and I was ask anybody in chat, I was having a blast. I'm like,
Mhm.
why how is it so difficult? And because my mind wandered to the Wonder Woman game, and I'm like, look at Spawn and everything going on in there, and you still can't make a good a halfway decent Wonder Woman game.
Yeah, there's
Because
that too.
Spawn's a simple character like Wonder Woman. I'm here to have fun, and that's it. But now this begs the question: with this going on, what's it gonna be like for Superman
We'll
and the
have
Fantastic Four too? Because
well,
remember,
Fantastic Four is something we'll talk about later on in the video. But going back to Thunderbolts and Marvel, it really hasn't been that best year for them for a good long while. Long story short, you want Thunderbolts to be successful, but it's like, okay, I have Florence Pugh, I got I'm sorry, I got the new Black Widow, I got Bucky Barnes, Red Guardian, U.S. Agent, the ones that we actually care about at least, and then two people I don't care about. I don't care about female Ghost or Taskmaster, and they're going up against Sentry. Sentry, you guys can't pick somebody else. You gotta pick the big bad himself, Sentry. You're gonna die. I'm sorry, you're gonna die. But they are trying to win some of the theater nerds, the cinema nerds, into this. Like they had to announce, like I said, in that A24 style trailer that I mentioned, where they're like, from the directors and writers of, Netflix Beef. Hey, that's an Emmy Award winning series, so good pick. From the production and set designer of Hereditary, I'm like, ooh, and I love Hereditary. I practically declare that to be uh, my
comfort.
generation shining before I got Doctor Sleep. They have the people from Green Knight, the cinematographer, so they're trying to win a lot of people over. Like, come see this movie. But it's just a hard sell, sadly. Could this work? I'm hoping the best for this movie, but I'm just with the track record that Marvel's going on right now. I don't see it. Part of that is people have said like that Feige either needs to go to you need to be attached to more projects and be like get on it or
Exactly.
reduce the amount of work we are working on to get a coherent storyline going again. Not the let's just get everybody back in here for Doomsday, which that's all people are going to see it for. Seeing
Yeah,
all the Fox stuff, the old cast again.
and it's just an unfortunate stepping stone. That's what Thunderbolts has been reduced to. Like it's been reduced to just a stepping stone for like a placeholder for Avengers Doomsday. And that's the unfortunate truth. Now, if Thunderbolts came out next year, okay, say alternatively speaking, if Thunderbolts was delayed for one more year and we had the Avengers Doomsday one, I fully believe that things would still be decent and Thunderbolts gets its chance to shine at least given the circumstances. But unfortunately, though, all roads lead to the MCU, unfortunately. All roads do. And it's sad, honestly. Um, but now with this happening, and you got Superman coming out, you got the Fantastic Four coming out. if I were Marvel and DC and seeing the failure after failure after failure, it's the small things, ladies and gentlemen.
I
It's
think
the
it just
small
adds up over
things.
time. Some people are
Yep.
going to say, but they're still successful. But the last DC film, Aquaman, bombed significantly. Barely made 300 million. And it's like, you're telling me you just made 300 million near the end of the life cycle. That's not a win. That's
Nope.
very bad.
That's just
The
breaking
first
even.
Aquaman film made 700 million more. And that was a film that I'm like, okay, this saved DC a bit. If they can produce stuff like this again, I will be fine with it. But what happened to DC was the biggest mismanage. Rush to everything, tell him back again. What happened to Zack Snyder should not happen to anybody. No wonder why the first run of Justice League did not do well versus the Snyder Cut. No wonder why it took so long to get the Flash out. Too many cooks, like switching directors, writers, the problem with Ezra Miller, and the film being just not that very much watchable, in my opinion. I really never care about that version of the Flash character, but I still like the Flash character. Just hated the DC Extended Universe iteration. You have Batgirl being completely shelved, and then, Aquaman getting out the door, but really wasn't all that exciting. And for their final scene for the DCEU being a freaking joke was, well, just whatever. You're hoping the new take and iteration of Superman is good. I just feel bad for that film
Because
because I
it's the
wanted to be
first
good.
time we have a comic accurate Lois Lane.
Comic accurate Lois Lane. It's the first solo Superman film since Man of Steel, which is a long time ago now. I'm like, wow,
I
that was a
know.
long. I know, and I do want it to be good. I trust James Gunn at the helm of directing. I'm putting my faith in him, and I get it. Some people may not be James Gunn's fans. That's fine. It's okay. But we gotta give the film, as I always say, give it a fair chance. I am happy, but I'm cautious. Because the last time I got happy for anything, I got Castlevania Season 1 of Nocturne. Where I was so baffled. I was like, do I like this season? Kind of. But then again, I was like, no, I didn't like it. I kind of like this stuff. But the stuff they were focusing on was. So I'm cautious. It's a cautious approach. When it comes out, I hope Superman does focus on Superman and his cast. It's fine to have one Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and of course, Mr. Terrific. By the way, the actor playing Mr. Terrific literally looks terrific. We There's no denying that he looks terrific.
Mm-hmm.
I was
And
like,
also,
wow.
doesn't Lex Luthor when he's holding the gun? There's a one scene in the trailer where he's holding the gun.
Oh yeah, Nicholas Holt holding
Does
the
he?
gun.
He would make a perfect. He would make a perfect Agent 47 if Hitman were to be made today.
Funny enough, I believe it was PlayStation of UK did the scene of the gif of Nicholas Holt spinning the revolver, and they said it's time, Agent 47.
I'm like,
he would make a good Agent 47. He's been getting better at acting, so I'm crossing my fingers for him. He can pull around with Lex Luthor, but my goodness, this film is just getting crapped on before it comes out, and I get it. People are loyal to Zack, or they want Henry Cavill to come back.
we get it.
Sometimes we just got to move on. Like, if the film's good, I'll praise it. If it's film's bad, I'll say, well, I wish it was a little better, but I found a few good things. So,
Because the only thing you're gonna find here, ladies and gentlemen, is honest criticism. But we take everything into account because the fans are Zack Snyder fans, and that's fine.
but not all of them are bad. Some of them are really appreciate saying, hey, I hope he does a good job. And hell, maybe Henry Cavill gave him his blessing, saying you'll make a good Superman. Because Jack Nicholson gave his blessing to both, Heath Ledger and Jared Leto saying, "You have my blessing."
Exactly. And but I do hope, beyond hope, Superman as the film alone, if you take away James Gunn and everything, cast aside James Gunn for a minute and focus solely on the film, I hope the film does good on its own.
I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping it's good.
On its own. If we just if we just set aside James Gunn and all the bullshit controversy and everything, which he should have been guilty of, but that aside,
Even though he's apologized for a bunch of stuff with those tweets.
that too. But still,
I
if
mean,
you
he's done it
focus,
like several times now since Comic Con, and even during the original Disney firing him from Guardians of the Galaxy. Even like Dave Bautista came out and defended him and said that, hey, if they're not going to use James Gunn's script for Guardians 3, you could cancel my contract.
so with that said, ladies and gentlemen, go and see this movie based on Superman. Don't think about it as a James Gunn film. Go watch it solely based on your preference. For me, if I really want to, I would go see it for the comic accurate Lois and Lex Luthor to see how well they hold up. Because I was impressed with how Lois Lane looked. She was elegant, had a beautiful face. There was that hint of sass.
Purple.
And the
Wearing
purple.
purple.
She's wearing purple, so I'm like, it's the animated series come to life, ladies and gentlemen.
Probably the closest one to the animated version,
Mhm.
probably. Probably the closest one.
This is as close as we're gonna get to a comic accurate Lois.
I mean, I love ADM as Lois Lane, but she just needed better material, in my opinion. Like, she could literally do Lois Lane. I'm like, man, we almost got it. So close.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things I'm hoping for. Like, I wish Thunderbolt would be great because I'm like, I'm still going to see it because I'm like, I want this to be good. Like, please, you need a win, but I'm not too hopeful right now. But switching gears, let's talk about good old Fantastic Four. Marvel's first family, they just cannot catch a damn break. Doesn't matter if it's that unreleased first film, or the Tim Story films, or the god awful 2014-15 version of Fantastic Four. That is the Fox version of the film. Now, this one, we're changing Johnny Storm and Sue Storm again.
Oh,
We
good.
changed Johnny Storm from being the ladies' man guy he was to something else. We changed Sue Storm to why is my favorite actress. I got a lot of favorite actors, folks, if you haven't picked up by now. We're changing the story to focus on what exactly? You've got to see this to believe this.
This is it, right?
Yep. Take it away.
Okay. Despite the fact that this is recently released news, Joseph Quinn addresses how his portrayal of Human Torch will differ from Chris Evans' version. He was branded as this womanizing devil may care guy, but is that sexy these days? I don't think so. This
Let
version
me
of
stop you right
Johnny,
there, Mr. Quinn. That is Johnny's character. He's a ladies' man. He's a womanizer. He's a ladies' man.
he's
But
the
he's slowly but
Barry
surely
of
out of that.
he's the
He's still there.
Barry of Flash. He's the Barry of Flash. He's
Yes.
he's exactly like Barry as the Flash. Both of them, they're both womanizers in their own equal rights, but they were funny about it. They had charisma. And the ladies knew that they're kidders and everything. They knew. But man, the confidence. I mean, look at Chris Evans. Despite the fact how bad some of the Fantastic Four movies were, I give Chris Evans his flowers still for actually putting on a halfway decent Johnny. He had the right mindset. It was there, and that was it. And I loved it. The rest of the films are bar none, but Chris Evans as Johnny, I feel like we owe him a massive apology because I appreciate him a lot more than ever before.
I think for the most part, he got the character down because we got the
Hey,
ego, we
Sapphire.
got the womanizer within the first film. Even was it wasn't deleted scene. I don't think it was deleted scene. We got the scene of him in the nightclub dancing with everybody, and when he burns the guy's beer and everything, the woman dancing with him, she kind of sees who Johnny actually is now at that point. And it's like that's his sudden reality of, well, I screwed up. And he does mean well for the team. Yes, he screws up, but there's a thing with someone screwing up and making amends for it. And to me, Chris Evans really did capture Johnny well. But now Quinn's like, we're not going to have the womanizing stuff. Like, you can still flirt with the people. It's not that offensive, people. A little flirting doesn't hurt anybody. Getting a good compliment is nice, very nice. But why are we erasing important parts of their characters? Hell, they don't have to. Hell, you know what they're not going to do in Doomsday? They're not going to have Doctor Doom curse Johnny. You remember that in the comic books when Doctor Doom literally put a curse on Johnny when
Yes.
because he caught. I'm allowed to say he caught Doom. Accidentally slept with Doom's fiance, and when Doom found out, he literally put a curse on Johnny where he couldn't, not, be on flames. He tried going to the bottom of the ocean, couldn't die. Tried going up to space, couldn't die. That was horrifying because you don't screw over Doom that way. They're not going to do it because they're too afraid to do it.
Exactly. And Doctor Doom got cucked, and so that's why he curses him and everything. But unfortunately, we're not going to get that. Nor we're not going to get evil Doctor Doom.
Remember, we got Tony Doom, but I don't like this. Like, already, that's like strike number one. And this, what I just sent you, is strike number two.
Oh, I
Vanessa, I
I
love you.
I
Please don't let
wanted to
this be true.
scream. I wanted to fucking scream when
First,
I
first of all, people, if you do not know Sue Storm, here's the thing: she is the weakest of the Fantastic Four, and everybody knows that. Even early comic books, she was the weakest member until they build her up properly. Then she got better, and then she's eventually one of the strongest of the members of the team. But what did this article say? Vanessa Kirby confirms Fantastic Four. First step explores gender politics with Sue Storm. What? Thought we were done with this, folks. Just,
no,
my head hurts.
they have to
My
shoot
head
it
hurts.
off one last time. They
Why?
have to
Why?
they you had us set the trailer,
This is
DC.
confirming that the Marvel's upcoming Fantastic Four movie explored gender politics with the characters. If you played an exact 60 suits today, everyone thinks she's a bit more of a doormat. So figuring out how to capture the essence of what she represents to each generation, where the gender politics were different and embodied that today, was one of the greatest joys of this. What PR speak is this? The idea that Sue Storm was dormant in the early Fantastic Four comics is ridiculous. In the second issue of Fantastic Four, she turns invisible and breaks herself free from a federal detention facility. Hello, they got that correct. Later in
Yeah,
the issue, he works with the team that takes out the Skrulls, not the Skrulls, who would have been posing as them and framing them for various crimes. So in English, folks, she doesn't know what she's talking about.
no, she doesn't.
Yes, Sue is a sex icon. Yes, Sue truly does have this elegance and beauty. Also, fact about Sue Storm. A lot of the bad guys do like her. Mostly the
Yeah,
Fantastic Four lineups of villains, like Namor and Doctor Doom. And if someone's going to say, Namor doesn't like Sue, have you not been playing Marvel Rivals? There's literally dialogue between them. If you have Sue and Namor together on your team while you're waiting, Namor does hit on Sue. And she reminds him that, hello, I'm married still. She accepts the compliment, but she's like, hello, I'm married. And don't forget that, well, and Namor does like Sue. He wants to marry Sue, but she's married to Reed Richards. He loves her. So if Sue does have to ask him about, like, can you do this for me? He might say no at first, but it's like, if Sue is asking me, then yes. If Reed Richards asks, it might be a no. But if Sue asks, it's like, sure, I'll do it. Even though Namor is still an anti-hero. A very well done when anti-hero. That's not Wakanda Forever's version of Namor. And don't forget, Doctor Doom envies Reed Richards. Richards is the opposite of him. Like, Richards has everything he wants, Doom doesn't. And even when he becomes God Emperor Doom, what does he do? He doesn't reset the world. He makes a world that where he receive endless love and praise, and he literally makes Sue Storm his wife, while making Reed Richards' son and daughter his children, just so he can find a world where there's a Reed Richards that doesn't have all this. You can say she accidentally attracts all these bad guys to her. Accidentally.
but that's just the
Hell,
beauty. But that's just the beauty of it. I mean,
hell, if you
how,
want to go one step further, Doom literally saved Valeria. When there was complication with Sue giving birth to Valeria, Richards couldn't deliver the baby on time because he was focusing on something else, but he was going to be there for Sue right away to deliver the baby. But Johnny and Ben, knowing that there is no time, that baby's coming now, we need somebody. What does Johnny do? He goes to Doctor Doom. He begs him, you have to come and deliver the baby. Luckily, Doom eventually agrees. And remember, when he's in the room with her, he literally tells her, just lower the shield. My armor will protect me. She's refusing to let Doom even near her, let alone near the baby that's being born. But he says, if there is even if there's a chance to save you and the baby, we have to take it now. You have to trust me, even if it's a small, like this tiny of a percentage. He was going to deliver that baby for her. Like, they had to take it now. And what happens the next page over? Reed comes in, he's looking for Sue, and yet there he is, coming out with the baby. He was like, congratulations, Richards. It's a girl. That's how awesome Doom is. But don't forget, he wanted some satisfaction. Like I said, the girl's name is Valeria, and he said, I will name the kid. Reed's like, no, but Sue's like, he will, I promise. And he calls her Valeria and made her one simple promise that no harm will ever come to this girl. He places her on his royal protection, and that's the end of the scene. It would be, but this is Doctor Doom we're talking about. And he told Richards this as he's leaving. Every time you look at your daughter and wife, I want you to remember that it was Doomed who saved them when you did not. It's like, wow, wow. But that's awesome. And Sue is one of those characters, when you look at it, there's beauty, there's elegance, but there's smart, there's a tactical side to her that a lot of us love for this character. And just to hear that we're going to explore gender politics is me saying, no, 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 no. You don't do this to Sue. You don't do this to your characters that people want to see a proper adaptation to, or at least get close enough as possible to say, this is a good take on the character. This just turned off everybody. And granted, could they talk about this stuff in these movies, shows, entertainment, games? You can, if it's done correctly, but when it's done incorrectly, and this is like the driving force of her character, I'm gonna say bye bye. Let Galactus win. Don't care. Ugh.
They just can't help. They just can't help themselves, Joker. They just can't. You think?
Furthermore, I mean, like, it's great that if you go down lower enough, she does say that she's not the stereotype of a good sweet mother. Sue was never. Well, she is a mom later in the comics, but go up a bit, go up a bit, go up a bit. Right there, right there. That middle paragraph, right there. Highlight that stuff. And again, she's not wrong about this. She explains one of the things I love most about Sue's history is when she becomes Malice and all of her dark stuff comes out. I was obsessed with that chapter of her life, so I wanted to make sure there was a tone of malice in there with her, that she wasn't just a stereotype of a good, sweet mother. I've always been really interested in the messy of femininity, okay, and how you can be both. How can you be all these things? Not just the tough, invincible, powerful woman, but also mother who gives birth, which is itself a superhero action. Continue. I love that these characters are really humans in a messy family who argue and try to work it out and get things done. Okay, okay. Again, but why can't you just say my version is getting close enough to the version we know from the comics? That's all you have to say, folks. Does this validate the article itself? Not really. We're going to have to wait and see when this movie comes out. Because the article is one thing. What she states is another thing. My examples and what other people will tell you that, really, why is she saying this? Like, why are you saying this? I once said beforehand, why is it so hard for directors, writers, actors, you name it, just come on set making an entertaining film that fans will love? It's not that hard.
Yeah. Look
You know
at.
who said that? Matthew Lillard for the FNAF movie. You remember that interview where you said, we made the FNAF movie for FNAF fans. That's all you have to do. It's right there. Right there. That's all you have to do.
It's the
And you
same
get
like we
everybody to
made
be like,
Sonic 3. It's like we made Sonic 3 for Sonic fans. We're continuing the story of Sonic for the fans. That's it. That is it. That's all that needs to be done.
Anyways,
If you have your fans in mind, you're completely fine. All we ask is just be honest about it. But for now, me and Joker,
this is a wait and see moment.
yes, this is a wait and see. As much as Joker and I, as well as many others, hate this forced push of gender politics and everything, time will tell of when this movie comes out and how bad it is.
I think
On
it's
paper,
around August, but it's in that
on
June,
paper,
July. So
on let me see, it's gonna be shit. Uh,
July 25th. So, ooh, 2 weeks after Superman.
oh,
And I think around
oh,
that same time frame is also the new Jurassic World movies. So it's like, oof, July is a packed month.
oh, wow. That's gonna be, oh, that's gonna be a fight. That's gonna be a fight right there. In essence, ladies and gentlemen, we have no problem. We've stated this multiple times on Night's Anime Table, and we stated it here on our respective channels and everything. We have nothing against female characters. We have nothing against it. We love them. We just want them to be written to where you grab our attention and we keep the focus on. We do not care the sex. We do not care the race and all that garbage. Just tell a halfway decent story about the character you are presenting to us. Sell us the character, and then we'll give you our honest feedback. We may be critical, but we're honest. We may not like the character, but we could tell you like a million different valid reasons as to why that is. Truthfully, we're not here we're not here to do your jobs, people. I mean, granted, we would love to do the jobs of other people and make characters even a million times better than what was produced, but we're not at that capacity to do so. All we are fans who just want really good characters, both of both sexes, of both genders, with really good storytelling and be sold to us to where me, Joker, and everybody else are willing to stand up, go to the nearest theater and buy the ticket for the movie and see it for ourselves. And that's it. That's roughly it. Because Minecraft is kicking your guys' asses in the box office right now, despite the chicken jockey controversy. But aside from that, domestically, it's about to hit the million. It's about to hit the million. And you have three, no, correction, four superhero movies coming out between now and July. Something's gotta give between DC and Marvel. And I feel like the more these movies fail, Joker, the worse it's gonna get for Avengers Doomsday. Because remember, if they're really building this up to Doomsday, this is a really
Well, according to the director of the film, he said there is no one else but Fantastic Four. There's no Iron Man, there's no Spidey, Doctor Strange, no X-Men, so it's just strictly Fantastic Four. I mean, is it
okay.
that hard just to make connected stuff? Not everybody needs to be in the same freaking world. I mean, that's all I want, like a solo film. And these guys are going to get their solo film. So, thank you. That's one positive so far. Well, outside of Ralph Eisen as Galactus. God,
Yeah.
he's going to
Oh,
make a
I'm
good
excited.
Galactus.
Oh, I'm excited for that. I am so excited. Joker, guess what? I
Yep.
have some news regarding the Avatar Netflix.
No, 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 no. Don't show it. No, 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 no. Don't you do it, Twinkle Toes. Don't you do it. There's no news.
You know
There's no news, Twinkle
exactly
Toes.
what I am talking about, aren't you?
There's no news, Twinkle Toes. Don't do it. Twinkle Toes, there's no news.
Oh my god. Well, it does count as a topic. It does count. However, we could probably treat it as rumor or hearsay. We could
Just
probably
show 'em. Just show 'em.
Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender. It features slightly more feminine top than animated original. Where do we where do you go?
You start first, Twinkle Toes.
Joker's pissed. In confirming yet more changes are on the way for the gains. Oh, for the what the fuck? That's a typo right there. For Aang's live action adaptation, upcoming Avatar: The Last Airbender cast member Maya Cheech has revealed that per Netflix's direction, keep in mind this is Netflix here, her portrayal of the blind earthbender Toph will be slightly more feminine than her animated counterpart. Ugh. So, pressed by the outlet as to what changes, if any, has been made to the fan favorite Earthbender in her jump to live action, Chetch detailed, my version of Toph is going to be a little older, slightly more feminine. I feel like I wanted to work in a very humanizing space for her because, she was a cartoon. Oh, wait. I read that wrong. I read this part wrong. I have met Michaela Jill Murphy, who plays the voice of Toph in the original animated series, and I feel like we both have a very similar take in terms of process.
Ah,
So, Joker, go
after
ahead.
me screaming in silence, I want to say this. Toph is literally one of my favorite characters for Avatar. In this entire franchise, she has remained number one since her introduction. Why is that? They done disabilities characters better than what most writers write today for them. And that says a lot about the Avatar writers. They're good writers. Yes, Toph was blind, but we never saw that from the blindness of the character. She was a badass. She was a warrior, but she also felt like a bird trapped in her own cage. Like we said beforehand, we understand exactly what her parents are going through. They're royalty, they have connections, and if anybody found out that their own daughter was blind, that could get their own political power in jeopardy. It would make them feel weak. So you can't blame mom and dad for that. They're protecting their own daughter, but at the same time, that protection came a bit too parenty, as in there was so much protection for Tosh, she felt trapped in her own cage. Hence, when she was discovered by the Badger molds, they taught her earthbending. She's able to see and sense the world in her own ways. She was a great earthbender. a great teacher. Yet she was an excellent tomboy. Yes, you see her in these beautiful dresses when she's with her family, but with Team Avatar, it's just this earthbending outfit she's got. Hell, she's literally to say this. There it is. That's what it would sound like when one of you sees it.
Yes. The
And
actress.
but the lemur is my seeing eye lemur companion when they're trying to travel the sakes. Was it the Serpent Pass? You remember that episode with the Serpent
Yeah.
Pass, right? Leading up to the bossing. The attack on bossing, say, where they're going through the whole Serpent Pass and everything, just to get the ticket on the ferry. She's like, I need 4 tickets to. I need these tickets to get to the ferry. The person on the desk is like, oh, the Faye family, we are honored for you to have you with us. But the monkey is my seeing eye companion. The way she defends Momo in that situation is both cute, funny, but very tough like. She knows the power she's in to convince even this person, this monkey is my seeing eye companion. And that's great and wonderful. Hell, even when she takes the staff from Aang when they're ice bending is really cool and everything. Even with that, she can't swim. The first person she asks to save her when she's drowning is Sokka. And it's Sokka who always holds on to Toph when they're on Appa. You can watch any scene from when they're on Appa, and it's like, yeah, Sokka always holds Toph. Like that shows you the trust, the ability she has with Sokka as a character. And she's the first one she calls out for help, despite the fact it's Suki, and she goes like, "Oh, Sokka, you saved me. Actually, it's just me. Oh, you can drown me now."
and that's why we love Toph. I
But
get
the
where,
important
but
thing for Toph is this: is to accept yourself. There's an entire episode in Tales from Ba Sing Se where Toph and Katara, they go to the beauty salon. They get a mud bath, they get all these oils and beautiful products on here. This is the picture of Toph right now, and yeah, she still looks cute, but it's the way how other people see her and treat her. Does she feel a little more let down? Everything. Sure, you could say the blindness is one thing, but it's Katara who reminds her that don't let them judge who you are. Just be yourself and everything. Like Toph is beautiful in her own way. And you should be willing to accept yourself. If you can't accept yourself, that's pretty hard. Like again, Toph does have her little own insecurities, but it's in this one episode, in this one instance, I'm glad that we were able to see that side of her, but also for Katara to lift up her spirits a bit and get a little bit better at them, and to disown the bullies, especially when she earthspun them into the water. Was it the water or was it mud? I think it was one of the two. But it was still
I think it
funny. I'm
was
like,
water. I think it was water.
I mean, it was water, but that is still classic Toph. Or was that Katara who did it? I think it was one of the girls. But that was still funny. I'm like, they got a taste of their own medicine. So that's Toph. My problem with this is the slightly more feminine stuff. But I'm going to call this hearsay. It's a rumor. We haven't seen anything from the set. The actress says one thing, but there's a way they could play around with this. The same thing they did with Sokka. Remember Sokka? I watched it. I watched season 1 of Avatar on Netflix. They still kept somewhat of Sokka's sexism in there, and some of his insecurities of masculinity. So they kept some of it in there. Not all of it. Some of it was still in there. So I'm like, okay, they still kept some of it. If they're willing to start Toph as a little bit more feminine side, but then slowly becomes the tomboy her from, her sassy attitude, where she swears in the show, but it's all the clever censorship words they get around with. So it's like, oh, okay. If we're willing to hear to call Aang Twinkle Toes, say a few sassy comments to the Firebenders, I'm willing to let it slide. I'm willing to let it slide. She's my favorite character. She deserves justice. But like I said beforehand, Toph is my favorite character. If they screw her up, I just won't care. I'll drop the season. I won't even watch the rest. I'll just say, nope, you screwed up the fan favorite character. My favorite character. She deserves better. They can't do this every single time. Why change the character when it worked so well in the original? Why? I was mad they did that to Sokka, but it's like, okay, it's still there for the most part. I was willing to say, I'll let it slide. They did make Zuko a bit far too nice, for my opinion, but I need him to be more aggressive in the second season, please. And I know it's already new for the third season, so they're probably filming it back to back, so they probably won't care.
All
But
in all, this is the one time. This is the one time where a girl boss is needed, because Toph is like the reason why we love Toph is because she has the no nonsense attitude and speaks her mind. She's not afraid to speak her mind and everything, and she is smart in all of that. But we also get to see under that tough exterior, we get to see that side of her, like Joker mentioned, and it adds a new level of depth to the character that we enjoy. She's still the badass and learns on her own. And that's why we love her. And she has proven she's more than capable of handling herself, which is completely fine.
Toph is so cool, she invented metal bending.
Exactly. We never even know that was possible until that episode.
We didn't even know Earthbenders could even do this. And yet she found it. It's like, wow.
And the execution of it was perfect. And world building at the same time. Not just in the world of Avatar, but a new tree, a new branch in the earthbending tree. That is world building, character building all in one seamless execution done perfectly. Perfectly. And that's what we want in this, ladies and gentlemen. But it's just so stupid. It's like they can't, they have a hard time sticking to the source material because it's like, oh, why we gotta do this and everything? Because it's what the fans want. We're invested in this. But it's just the way it goes. So apparently, and Joker, switching gears here. Get this. I can't believe this. This is a big I told you so from all of us. Warner Brothers executive Jeff Goldstein he's admitting they need to right the ship, and reports suggest CEO David Zalavs believes the answer is big IP. Another reason why Zalav needs to go. You sit there and it's like, look, we got to right this ship. We're losing so much. Oh, you know what our answer is? Big IP. Yes. We need to go. We need to expand to more big IPs. But I will give Jeff Goldstein credit for admitting the obvious, but at least he's coming out and saying it. I will give him credit on that one. Go ahead.
I think at the end of the day, it's they have their big IPs, but they're not utilizing them correctly. Both film, television, and game division. They're closing down a bunch of studios. They're trying to sell off Looney Tunes. They're trying to shut down the animation studio or destroy it and make it an HBO studio lot. But it's like you have properties that could do well, but you're just not using them. And Zelzoff does need to go. I mean, they could be producing more Looney Tunes shows, movies with them, spin-off shows. Instead, they're not doing that. The DC lineup, I get it. Batman, Superman are one thing. If the Wonder Woman game would have been good, should have been an easy slam dunk, but it wasn't. The fact they even patent the Nemesis system baffles me because that could have been a cool system that other companies could have used, but it's patented at least to the year 2035. So it's like, or if not longer. So it's a big yikes. It's they have the IPs, they have the money, but they're just not doing it. And to me, it feels like, well, they are reaping what they are sowing in the end. That's the big thing. They reap what they sow.
Oh, I agree. And it goes to show high costs and diminishing receipts are magnifying Hollywood's anxieties, and rightfully so. This has been a crisis for DC since 2020 and Birds of Prey. Regardless of the pandemic and global lockdowns, it's been hitting Brothers harder across the board lately. Outsiders' unlikely hits, such as Barbie in a Minecraft movie, when they put their faith in something ambitious and director driven like Mickey 17, they fumbled badly.
But also, making him 17 didn't stay in theaters long enough, so
And actually, Robert Pattinson in this movie was good.
he was amazing. 17 different characters. It was like, wow.
And, of course, Ryan Gosling.
I think I
God
think what the
bless this
article is
man.
stating when they put their faith in, Minecraft and Barbie, those are the safest brands out there that they're gonna make money, especially with Barbie with Oppenheimer had the wonderful name of Barbieheimer because people were dressing like how many people did you see were wearing suits for Oppenheimer versus people wearing pink for Barbie for your gig because it was Barbieheimer.
There was a lot of when Barbie came out, there was a lot of people. Some people brought Barbie dolls and everything under the sun. One even brought a California Dream van.
Ooh, that would have been cool to see.
I'm like, okay, I respect that.
Not
I
at not at my theater, but an hour drive to the next theater. One of my coworkers said for Barbie, there were a bunch of people in different pink outfits to pink attires that even this grandma looked really good in that people were getting photos with. I was like, damn, even grandma's
nice.
getting into this? Wow. When
Actually,
I
my sister is a longtime Barbie fan. She actually gave this movie a seal of approval. She was happy,
mm,
and that's coming from my sister. And I'm just I was dreading. I'm like, oh god, because my sister wanted to go see it, and she's a huge Barbie fan. In my reluctance, we went. I sat with her, and this was my first time watching it too.
mhm.
She was like, "I like the movie," and she explained in great detail what she liked about it and the callbacks and everything. And she was happy to see Ryan Gosling give Ken some justice here and there. So I was pretty shocked by her answer because normally when you have a sibling who's that big of a fan and you go to see something that's been a staple in their life, like one of the major staples in their life, it adds a lot of pressure to it. It's like it's not based on my preference. It's based on hers. That kind of like with your friend earlier with the warfare movie.
Oh yeah. I mean, we do like stuff like that. When I saw Asteroid City, before I saw Oppenheimer, I saw the employees dress up in suits. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Everyone's dressing up as uh, Oppenheimer or Barbies. So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, and I felt like that was really cool. Obviously, for Barbie, when that was still playing, there was a lot of people still wearing pink and stuff. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. When I saw Oppenheimer, I didn't see anybody wearing suits. I should have worn a suit or something, but that was a great experience. But when my friend texted me saying that, do you want to see the Barbie movie? I still said to myself, you know what? I need to see this movie to believe it. Everyone's laughing. Everyone's a good time. It's making billions of dollars now. I need to see this movie. So I said, yes, I'm curious. Let's go. And at the end, and during that entire runtime, we just could not stop laughing. We were having fun. I'm like, I'm having fun in a live action Barbie movie. How is this possible? We didn't care. We were having a good time. And even during the Ken song, I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, this is a good song. I couldn't stop laughing, but I couldn't stop nodding. This is a good song. Also, how they were talking about the patriarchy and everything. I couldn't stop laughing at that stuff. Or
I
some of the jokes
know.
they were saying. I was like, this is a Barbie movie talking about the patriarchy. It works. It's dumb, but it works. This is also a Barbie movie that gave me a Scooby Doo chase sequence.
Yes. That was hilarious.
It
I'm like, "Oh my god, we're getting Scooby Doo." Yes.
or how the business tycoons, they go back to Barbie Land the same way they go, and they do the stupid one large bike sequence. I'm like, oh my god, they're leading into this, and it worked.
It
And I said it's
worked.
a good movie. I said I'm glad I saw it when I did. Like it works. Stuff like that does work when you give it to the right people, and it does work. But when they try to do some of the more bigger stuff, like DC, it does end up failing because it's either going to be success or not a success. You know, you'll never die by seeing the first looks, the first trailers, if things are going to be up to standard or not to standards, or if it's going to be accurate enough, or just be like, oh, well, they're doing their own thing. They're the characters in name only, sadly. Look at all the spin off Sony villain films for Spider Man. A lot of them failed. Venom can still make money at the end of the day, but it's like, but it's not the actual Lethal Protector. I want the Lethal Protector, please.
Like I wanted Carnage just to go all out and bite off
With the
people's.
right actor. Not look, I love you, Woody Harrelson. I'm
We
like,
love you. We love you and we respect you.
I still gonna say I wish somebody else. Hell, it's a Carnage movie without Spider-Man. How is that possible? Except for that one cool shot in church. I was like, okay, that was cool. When Carnage is on the with is, he's hanging on the side and it's like on the mural, on the mural. No, the glass frame. I was like, okay, that's a Carnage shot. That was cool.
Yeah. I
But
also
a
like
lot of
the
them
Oh, go ahead.
just failed. I didn't care about Morbius. Didn't care about Crave the Hunter, and I wonder why I failed.
Oh,
I did
no,
not care
I
about.
completely forgot Kraven the Hunter existed. I forgot
I know
about that
that's the sad
movie.
thing because they got beaten by the internet again. What else is there? Harry Potter is one thing which we will not talk about on this channel because a lot of people have talked about that enough already. It just shows
We
that
there's
WB
just
has all
on
these IPs. They just don't know what to do with them. The
and
smaller
it's
stuff does work, but Mickey 17 should have made them a lot of money, but it's not. Sadly it didn't, and I'm mad at them.
Exactly. And look, we're the reason why we're not talking about Harry Potter is because that topic has been talked to death. And that's why we're focusing on topics like this and everything to bring it up into light. Um, but you are correct though, Joker. I mean, look at Megan. Look at the Megan movie.
Oh, that was a huge hit.
It was, and we're like, because if you look at it from like a normal viewpoint, it's like this sounds stupid. But when you sit down and watch, it's like,
It's still
oh,
bad, but there were some good parts of it. Like some people felt like they were making a family drama movie. Other people thought they were making a horror movie, but it's like it works. It's still a little stupid, but it works. It leans into the campiness, so that's a good thing. And of
exactly.
course, the Megan dance that did help out a lot. So they know
That
what
was
they were
my
doing.
sister busted out laughing at that scene. I
It
remember her
was fun.
busting
It
out
was
laughing.
stupid. I bursted out laughing in my solo experience. I was like,
I'm like, okay, I can mess with this. But the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, we we just want to see good movies just be good. Because remember, and also, it's no secret, it's the 25th year anniversary of Star Wars Episode 3 coming out. They're putting it back into theaters and everything, which is nice and all that, because I do love that movie. The problem is there's a lot of movies that are coming out that do deserve the recognition. I mean, right now, we have 2 Christian movies out already. The, we have the King of Kings one and that Netflix 3-part movie that's playing right now. Um, it's escaping me, but there's 2 of those, so I'm happy to see that. And they're getting traction as well because they're good movies. And believe me, there were a lot more fans than we anticipated of that series. Um, with that said, of all the trailers I keep see of all the trailers I keep seeing playing at my gig, out of all those movies, there's only one I'm really excited for. Ballerina. That is the only one I am genuinely excited for.
we'll have to wait and see for Ballerina. I hope it's good. I hope it's good.
It grabbed my attention. I'm like, "Oh, this is looking cooler and cooler." No matter how many times I see it, I still love it, and I'm glad we got to
I mean,
see
it's
the
still
lead.
Sinners.
uh,
I'm
I
excited for Sinners.
Oh, yes, Sinners as well. But seeing the old man one last time on the film, that's gonna be hard. That's gonna be a tearjerker right there.
Oh, Lance Reddick. Oh,
Yeah. I'm gonna go see it just for him. I'm just gonna go see it for him and see how this movie does. Uh, but it's just so sad because and also I mean, there's another movie too, the Lilo and Stitch movie. I am genuinely excited for as well. So there are 2 movies that I'm genuinely excited for, and I'm hoping it hits it out of the park. Because I like the premise of Lilo and Stitch. The characters look good. We all gave our stamp of approval on them. Now let's see how it holds up throughout the film. Because we saw the trailers already. We already gave our opinion on it. We gave our opinion on the characters. Now let's see how the story goes when we go and see it. That's the number one thing right there, ladies and gentlemen. Trailers tell you one part of the story. You gotta go see the rest of it to experience the whole thing. And to me, I'm hopeful for Lilo and Stitch. I am hopeful for it. Despite what happened with Snow White and the other ones, this one I am genuinely excited for. And also the Coyote bad guy movie coming back. That one's coming back. I'm excited for that one. the fact of the matter is, what this is all pertaining to, ladies and gentlemen, is this. This is what it's pertaining to. This is what's going on
This will be our final
currently.
topic. It's getting really late. So it's true. The golden age of filming is dead. Hollywood is collapsing. California has ran its course. And no wonder why other people are moving elsewhere to make films. Minnesota, there's a boom right now in Arizona right now, where even one of my friends is making films. Hell, even in my own state, we are 13 states that do not have film tax credit. Did you know that? My state does not have film tax credit. Yours does. Mine doesn't.
Wow.
We are 13 states that does not have it. And we've been trying very hard. A lot of people. We've been trying very hard to get our act bill passed. So far, it's been working. Hell, did you know that Ethan Hawking's had a film here?
Really?
He had a film here that he was director for, and he was on tour, and he's looking around my beautiful state, or the city of, I should say, the city of Milwaukee, and he said, Milwaukee has such a rich history here. Why aren't we making films? So he's literally telling our legislators, producers and filmmakers in Wisconsin, we should be making films in Wisconsin, to find out that it's like they don't have tax credit. He said that needs to change. I'll give you a link later, but we have support of Ethan Hawking. That's huge.
Exactly. And
Even Mark, yes, I know Mark
Wisconsin is
Ruffalo is from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin
Even he
is
said, I
beautiful.
agree on this. Mark is agreeing. You can hate Mark Ruffalo all you want, but I will say
The
he's a
man gets
fellow
it right.
Wisconsinite. Even he's saying, yes, he's agreeing with Ethan. That's another big win.
Marco Rufio may be a fucking clown and everything, but he does get it right sometimes. He does get it right.
Yeah,
And that's why we praise him for this.
I'm going to praise him for that. Thank you, Mark, for agreeing with Ethan. We need to get this going. Heck, there's literally was a film that was shot in Door County. I'm like, there was a film shot in Door County? Hell, even at my job, I wish I need to go talk to my teacher about this. So you tell me there was a small independent Japanese horror film filmed in my hospital? Yes, a small.
Oh,
I need
go
to
ahead.
find this film because I would like to know that. How was I informed about this on this day? I'm the film nerd.
I forgot to tell you this. This has never been told before on the history of this channel in our time together. My stepdad told me something very mind-blowing during one of our conversations. He got to see some of the stuff they were using for the Transformers movie set in Detroit, Michigan. He got to see some of it. And I'm like, take me there now. Because my stepdad works at a trucking equipment place. So he gets to see some things here and there. But seeing that, though, that's got to be on his list of the coolest things he's ever saw in his life. And he liked the movie. He liked the Transformer movie. But hearing it come from him, though, I was like, yes. The point of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, we need more areas to film because I would love to see a film being made in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
I've been
I,
to Milwaukee. I've been to Milwaukee briefly. It's
I can actually
beautiful.
link you a film that was filmed in Wisconsin.
In Joker, Milwaukee was beautiful. It was beautiful out there.
Milwaukee
During
is
my
a really
brief
cool state.
during my brief time there, I'm like, why are we not doing more of this? So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a few more topics to talk about regarding PlayStation and what was that other one, Joker, the PlayStation 6?
Oh, the PlayStation 6 rumors. So, here's some rumors for Good old PlayStation.
So, what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen? Apparently, the PlayStation, this is from Pirate Nation. The PlayStation 6 console will include a standard console and a portable one, according to a leaker. Release date late 2027, 2028. Portable PS6 less powerful than PS5. Portable console will likely launch after the main one.
Let's first of all, we're not even 5 to 6 years for these life cycles.
We're not.
Already we're talking about PlayStation. PlayStation. I don't want this. It's bad. The PlayStation 5 has been very much been memed on, called the remaster station, where on because it's nothing but endless remasters after remaster from stuff from PS4 that works fine on the PS5. You can say there's no games, but we have Returnal, Horizon Forbidden West. Yes, we do have Astrobot. There again, there's well, what was it again? Square. It was the Square Enix IP was I can't remember the name to it. Like, but there are games on there, but not the amount that we were getting from PS2 through heck, even PS1 all the way to PS4. You weren't getting these massive titles from both triple, double A to small independents. It's just been favoritizing a lot of stuff. Yes, there's God of War Ragnarok, which I'm happy for, but at the same time, those big games take a while. And to see a new console like this so soon, it hasn't even been a decade yet. I haven't even used this PS5 of mine to its full potential. Astrobot was a good example, but it's like, come on, I need cool stuff. Yes, I'm getting Ghost of Yotai soon, which I'm very much excited for, but it's like I should be getting smaller stuff like Sly Cooper 5, Jack and Daxter, a return to Jack and Daxter. I should be seeing Ratchet Clank again. Yes, so I do have a new Ratchet Clank game, but Insomniac being an Insomniac are putting a whole lot of focus on Marvel. Darn you, Sony. It's like I'm not even excited for Wolverine because of what happened to Marvel Spider-Man PS5. I don't
Exactly.
want that. Hell, I will eventually stream Marvel Spider-Man for the PS5, and I will put it to rest and prove to people that are we sure this is the story we want to praise? What happened to the first game that had a good story? Even Miles
Or the
Morales
ones
is a decent story. Even if they need to change it for the story beats, I'm like, it was good. What happened to getting Ultimate Spider-Man? That was a great game. Like, why can't we go back to stuff like that? I'm not
or
excited
the
for the third
games
game.
I or the 2 Spider-Man games I was streaming on my channel a while back. The classics. It was
Mhm.
all right there. It was all right there. It was one cohesive story on the first game and Enter Electro. That's what made
And,
both them work.
and to see that they're trying to go for more of a portable version, I gotta say this. You don't need to compete with Nintendo in that area. Don't. You don't need to do the portable version. If you just wait, make good games again, you know, don't make 200 realistic games. Try to make stuff that's smaller, independent, creativity. We can at least salvage this console generation and then go to the PS6. At least wait another
What's up,
five and
Riggs?
a half years. Not do it now because people who didn't buy the PS5 are just going to feel burned out with the PS6. Hell, I do feel burned out with the PS6. And I am a PS5 owner, so I'm like, this is kind of ridiculous. I mean, I still use the console a lot. I use it a whole lot, but it's like you're not giving me the exclusives that I want. I'm buying some good third party games, but this is why we say I think PC has won the race. You can buy the parts you want. I definitely upgrade my PC. You can upgrade it whenever you want, and people will tell you that, hey, if you want to do some better stuff, you should buy this instead at a good mid range if you want to play some of the mid stuff. But I have been noticing a lot of games getting up to the RTX 380 or 480, so I'm like, shit. So I'm like, damn, I need to buy one of those, get a higher CPU and GPU, and then I'll be good to go. So buying a console, or you can buy from Walmart or buy a good gaming PC, you'll be good to go. This is a $2,000 PC, but it still runs pretty well. But you need to upgrade this bad boy. It's been like 5, 7 years, close around that time period frame. But it's not a good thing to be seeing new consoles right away. You say it's a new console, but it's just slightly powerful, slightly more. It's not going to be worth the time and investment that Sony is thinking. We'll just slap the PS6 on it. No, don't call it a PS6. Don't call it anything. Just keep the PS5 for around a bit longer, and then let the developers keep making games because it's ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
It is. It's beyond ridiculous because how long was the PS4 out? How long we
10 years,
launched,
maybe close to 7 years. 7 years.
and it was good.
2012, 2013.
Yeah, and we didn't get the PS5 until fairly
The
recently.
lockdowns.
Yeah, and now it's like, oh, well, based on our numbers, not excluding the pandemic, we gotta come up with a new console and have a better sales.
No, because the scalpers got them all in the early years.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
open up.
that's what
So
killed it.
that's the big thing. They need to remember this. Scalpers took all the PS5s completely. I mean, we saw people bragging. I got like 4 or 5, like all this stuff. Yes, $250 price range, pretty easy to get into. I still have my no. I got my my PS4
I still
is
have
with my
mine
mom's.
over there too. I
No,
still
no,
have
my
it.
base correction. My base PS4 is actually with my mom's coworker's kid. Because he wanted one. I'm like, here, if you get the PS4, I'll keep my PS5. And he still plays it actually. I'm like, it's still a good console. Like it is. So it's lasting him still a long while still. But when you look at the price of the PS5, that was expensive. I was able to afford it, but how many people can afford it? People are not going to afford the PS6. Hell, look at Nintendo. Their price range for the PS for the Switch 2 is $450.
That's like an entire
That's
paycheck.
close to Microsoft's Xbox One with the Connect. That was like $500. Or was that 400? Was that $400? Yeah. No, I think it was a little bit more than that. So I think with the Connect it was more expensive. Without the Connect, it was $100 less.
Uh,
Did you find it? No.
uh, it was the launch for the price of the Xbox One was $499.
And then
I'm
without the
trying.
Kinect, it was $399. So yes, it's close to the Xbox original launch with the Xbox One. So yikes! But how many parents can afford that for the kids? I get it. Nintendo's been most of the family company, but how many people can really afford that these days? It's like I could pay rent with that money. I could get groceries, or I could get a console. Hmm. Hmm. Very tough decisions.
Extremely tough decisions because back in 2013, during that time, you can afford it. You could still afford it. We're talking the PS4 here. Back at the time, you could still afford it. You could still get rent done and everything. Nowadays, here we are in 2025, and it's like, how can
The
you
price range of the
justify?
PS5 has not changed.
No, it
PS4,
hasn't. Have you noticed that? It's never changed.
it
Not
should at
once.
least be at least half the price now, at least
By
reduced down
now.
$100 at least. But
Because when the
it, it,
PS4 when the PS I think it's when the PS4 hit its 5th year mark is when the price started going down. Because the PlayStation 4 Pro was also coming out at that
I don't know
time.
if at the same time at that time it did make sense why the Pro version was needed. Even during year 2 and 3, it's like this PlayStation is really heating up quickly. Like mine was loud as a jet plane, The Witcher 3.
Oh, I
And
could
don't get
hear I had some people who had the PS4 Pro. Holy crap, I felt like I was in a fucking airport.
was the base
The
PS4 or the PS4 Pro?
the PS4 Pro.
Not the base?
No, not the base.
Wow, really?
Most of them. But given everything though, it feels like a jet engine when you really look at it. When you hear that sound
I
and how
know it
hot.
wasn't the best thing in the world. You should have seen me playing Valhalla.
Oh
Woo!
my god. I could imagine I
That
could
stuff
probably
was
hear.
loud, but the game looked great. I'm
Wait,
like,
Joker, you live in a two-story house, right?
yep, yep.
You could probably hear that shit from the kitchen downstairs.
No, no, I'm in the basement, so I'm in the basement, so
Oh, then upstairs, like mid-level.
no, no, they could not hear it. My parents couldn't hear that. When my mom was downstairs, she
Wow,
could hear it.
that's insane. Oh,
I did not have heat problems. My PlayStation got warm, but not that warm. So it's like,
mm-hmm. Uh,
but it really goes to show you that how out of touch these executives, the higher ups are. Think of that. We can sell PS6 in this market. No, you cannot. What's going to be the technological difference between this and a PS5? The jump between PS4 and PS5 was a very nice difference, especially with now with TVs being affordable within the 4K range that has HDR and everything. So on my nice, again, I keep saying on a very nice LG OLED C1 series, all my games with HDR looks absolutely stunning and amazing. I think my favorite game playing on that TV is Black Myth Wukong. Just seeing the lighting, the water, the dust, the snow, I was like, wow, this looks so cool. Even
what?
going from the cave, even going from the spider cave, which is so very creepy, to the more
Ooh.
lush, beautiful mountaintops. It's like, oh, just seeing the lighting for the first time again. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I think that's my favorite game on my PS5. But we do not. It's too early for 6. Even if Microsoft does the whole new another Xbox, it's gonna be no, 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 no. You need to get your games up the door. They are getting their games up the door, but I haven't even seen Fable in a long time. I don't think I will see Fable. Hell, I'm about to say that game's about to become vaporware if I don't see it soon. And as for the last thing, the PS, this is truly corporate greed with these PSN charges. What are they doing? Do they want the industry to crash? It's done.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not bullshitting on this.
Hold your horses, folks, because if you have a year one, hmm,
I think
that is the correct one.
that's the correct price. I'm looking at the is it the is it Canada or is it America? Because remember, I'm looking. Oh, here we go. This must be the. Oh wow! Holy shit! Wow!
That
I
is
don't.
ridiculous.
That's like literally half my paycheck right there.
That is half my paycheck right there.
I might have to say fuck it and just jump to the 3 month if need be.
That's what I always do the 3 months because I don't need.
Because
That's like
I did
extra
the full
premium.
year.
The
I
thing
did the
is, there
full
are
year
tier
though.
slots. If you want the premium stuff, you can go for it. But if you just want to play online with your friends and everything, just go for the essentials. So there are three different tiers. You have the essential tier list, which is going to be your more affordable, cheaper stuff. If you do want the extra stuff that gives you like the catalogs and a few other things, cloud, all that stuff, this is like the average price. Like, okay, but if for some people who just have money lying around, have a stable income, you could do the premium. Though why would you do the premium at a 12-month subscription, which is like wow.
I this is corporate greed beyond anything. And and let me remind you people, this has nothing to do with tariffs. Get that shit out of here. Get that shit out of here right
This has
now.
nothing to do with
It
that.
has
This
nothing to
is
do, zero
Sony being
crap with that.
Sony.
This is Trump had nothing to do with this. And no, we're not defending Trump here. We're just stating the obvious. This has been going on before all this. We are seeing it now with actually it's getting worse. Cuz with all the game prices and everything, Sony was like, "Oh, they're look at the price of the Nintendo Switch 2. Hold my beer." This is the type of thing right here, ladies and gentlemen. 100 and who in their right mind would pay $189 well before state taxes, depending on where you live. Because here it's 8%. It's 8% state tax here. So probably $210 ballpark. Joker, that's almost enough for a refurbished PS3.
Pretty much.
That's like the price of a PS3 right there. Refurbished. Hey, what's up, Ichigo Senpai? I'm doing good. We're on our final topic right now, and we're showing the hypocrisy of corporate greed on the PlayStation Plus. So, ladies and gentlemen, listen here real quick, ladies and gentlemen.
And in fact, I think the big thing that I think that still needs to be talked about, why are we paying for online for consoles? It does feel weird.
It does. Because remember,
Concerning PC is free.
in the
I remember the
PS3,
PS3, but
we only
correct me if
needed
I'm wrong,
internet.
online was free, right?
Yeah, you only needed an internet connection, and
Even the PS2 was free, right?
yes, and then just the PlayStation,
Even the Wii was free. Yeah, I think the Wii was free.
it was free.
So they can do it. They're just refusing to be like, but money.
Money. Because remember, now, granted, you are correct there. You are correct there, Joker. It was free because I remember having my PS3 back in the early 2010s. I got mine in Christmas of 2012. Or was it somewhere in 2012? I got it. It was free. The PlayStation Plus was optional at the time. You did not need it was not required to play online at all. All you really needed was a PlayStation account and an internet connection, and that's it. That's the only things you needed. I played Black Ops 2 just fine online, and Black Ops 3, the PS3 version, completely fine. I had no issues. I had no issues with it. It was fine. Um, the problem is PlayStation got greedy and started introducing the PlayStation Network and the PS Plus when the PS4 launched. Now, that is completely fine and everything in between, but they added that little thing like PlayStation Plus needed for this, and this. Why? Now, ladies and gentlemen, normally, under normal circumstances, we would say vote with your wallet. This is one of those. Go with what you, if you want to pay. If you want to pay the $189 to $210 12-month subscription, we're not going to stop you. We won't. We're not going to stop you. The fact of the matter is, these prices should anger you. I mean, you know it's so bad, Joker, when the 3-month subscription used to be the 12th-month subscription price. You know it's bad. Because it was only what, $60, $70 somewhere in there, in that ballpark range at the time. And now this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is corporate greed in full view. It has nothing to do with the tariffs. It has nothing to do with Trump. So take those arguments and go and leave. This has nothing to do with the tariffs at all. Nada. This is PlayStation being PlayStation. I'm too scared to look at the Xbox Game Pass prices. I'm too scared to look at that. Given everything. Joker, you would agree with me this is setting a very dangerous precedent. It's very dangerous. Because with how because with Nintendo Online, I think I'm paying I want to say 60 at minimum for the full year at minimum. This is setting a very dangerous precedent because if the game companies see this, what's to stop Nintendo and Xbox from doing the same thing? Ladies and gentlemen, we're just as outraged as you are over these prices. Because we want prices to go down. We're sick of inflation. We're sick of higher prices. We're sick of it. We want to go back to the time when me and Joker could afford a game console and still both pay our rents and everything on time and still have money for frivolous stuff that we enjoy. It'll be a while before we get back there, but this is not helping. This is not helping at all. It's just corporate bullshit. Take care, Ichigo. Thank you for coming on by, my dear friend. Hope you have a great day. Stay tuned for more. Hmm. But in essence, ladies and gentlemen, this is really pushing it with a lot of us. It's like it's like what Joker said. This is the Blizzard version of you guys don't have any phones. This is the equivalent of that. They're making fun of us because we're broke. Well, quote, broke. We're not broke, ladies and gentlemen. We're not. We're outraged with the prices of these things. I was just as excited and ecstatic about the Switch 2 as the next person. But it's gonna take a lot of commitment to even come up with the money for that thing. On top of everything else. However, it's entirely up to you, ladies and gentlemen, on what you wanna do. Me personally, I'm gonna have to agree with Joker on this. I would probably just choose the 3-month. Save some money at least. If you do want the premium stuff, knock yourself out. But in all seriousness, no, this Joker, does this border on price gouging? Does this border on that?
Yep.
Which is I think that's illegal, actually. I think that's illegal. I don't know the current law right now with price gouging, but surely in some legality, it's probably illegal. But ladies and gentlemen, all me and Joker have to say is vote with your wallet. Because this is getting to the point of beyond being ridiculous. Now, personally, I wish this was satire. I wish this was a fucking joke that we could laugh at. But unfortunately, though, this is PlayStation we're talking about. This is PlayStation. The same crummy bastards who edit arcades. Anyway, uh, Joker, final thoughts.
This will definitely backfire in their face. It's not worth having to pay over 100 for online. It's difficult. If it was more cheaper, like again, you could do the other tiers, which are definitely cheaper, but if you're charging more, you have to offer more, but they're not offering a whole lot. So, and that's the problem. And for consoles, still having to pay for online subscription service, that's ridiculous. So, they got it right the first couple times, but now it's like pay us money to pay online. Where PC, it's you can literally pop in a multiplayer game and go. There's no need for subscriptions online unless you're doing the MMO stuff. So it's ridiculous.
Yep. But we'll see what happens as time moves on. But anyway, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Tomorrow night's episodes 9 through 11 of Black Cat. Be sure to check us out there. Watch party link will be posted so you can come over and watch with us. Joker, thank you for coming on tonight. We had a lot of fun today. We discussed a whole lot of topics. Thank you to everybody for showing up, especially the people over on Twitter. All 34 of you. Holy crap. Thank you. And of course, everybody here over on YouTube. You guys are making Knightcast really worth watching. Continue to support the channels and everything. Check out Joker and his content. Really wonderful dude. We'll see you all again tomorrow. Anyway, guys, I am out of here. Check out the content, share it with everybody. We need more people. Bye, guys.